2023 is over and a new year has begun. You probably have a whole list of New Year's resolutions, such as going to the gym and shrinking that inner tube, which has gotten more enormous thanks to all the Christmas cooking you shoved down your pie hole. And you probably swore to treat your family and friends a lot better. Well, you can add one more New Year's resolution to your list. Hi, SA here, and when I'm not sounding like a complete knucklehead on the computer, I'm also a published author, and I have a deal for you. Remember to get your copy of Glitch, a precarious duo, and its sequel, Glitch, The Future is Unwritten. You can get them on either Kindle or paperback. Both are available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other fine bookstores. The links are down below in the description. You will enjoy this crime thriller tale of a kidnapped teen model and a reluctant jewel thief who are on the run from the law while on the treadmill at the gym. And I'm not just some one-hit wonder either. I have more books coming down the pike, so as long as I don't die in my sleep. Stuart? Stuart? You'll see those other books too. Now let's get back to the video.
Do you like it?
Why did you do that? Scrape off your hair.
In my world, when I left it, only kids your age wore beards.
Beards? I don't go in for fads.
Hello again. Essay here. What is a fad? Well, it's basically something that's temporary, transitory. Here today, gone tomorrow. And the world's been full of fads. Indeed, anyone who's familiar with the fashion industry knows that fads have always come and gone. I mean, for example, in the 18th century, the pompadour was a thing. And now we're not talking about the Elvis style pompadour. No, not that kind. It was a pompadour hairdo. Looked like someone's wearing a giant cinnamon bun on their head. And you say, what were people doing that for? Because of this woman's name was Lady Pompadour. She was the King of France. I think it was Louis the 16th. I think it was, or was it Louis the 15th? It was one of those two Louis. It was one of his number one mistresses. Yeah. According to the history book, she died early. But not before she left behind that weird pompadour hairdo. And a lot of other French ladies tried to copy that style. Of course, by the time the revolution showed up, that style was no longer in style. So there you go. And when I was growing up, they had a lot of fads, like bell bottoms and tie-dye t-shirts. Yeah. And the pet rock. Yeah. And wait for it, you ready? Even though I was in my early teens, I had a pet rock. Yeah. It was looked like a bun, but it was shaped like a bun, but it was kind of like a weird kind of copper color. And you said, why did I have a pet rock for? Seemed like a good idea at the time. In fact, I actually got the rock from over near Marineland. And you say, what the fuck is that? It's basically like a poor man's SeaWorld. In fact, if you go on the Pacific Coast Highway and start heading north, usually you ran into Marineland before you got to Malibu Pier. And my family used to go to Marineland all the time, but not to see the damn water spectacle. No. What we would do is we would go to what they had a little access route next to the park, and the road would the park was sitting on a cliff, and there was this access road that led down to the coastline, and they had a little pier down there. My parents would sometimes go down there and fish. Why? Because it was isolated. But the thing is, that whole coastline was all rocky, and they had all these rocks, a lot of them. Most of them were kind of flat and rounded at the same time, really smooth. And I remember picking up one. I said, "Ooh, I like this rock," and I brought it home with me, and I kept that rock for years. And then I finally got rid of it. I think gave it to my sister. Why? I don't know. Seemed like a good idea at the time. But then again, of course, some fads were basically a nuisance. Like the Chia Pet. Yeah, remember the Chia Pet? Yeah, that was a fad back in the 80s. And a lot of people got those Chia Pets. I didn't get one, but some people I knew got one. But yeah. But of course, some fads could be detrimental, to say the least. Like, for example, how many people in the here and now heard about the Tide Pod fad, where people were taking those little balls of, was it laundry soap, and putting it in their mouths? Or how about the damn fad where people were taking big old heapings full of cinnamon and trying to eat it in one go, with no salt, no sugar, just take a big old blob of cinnamon and go doing those numbers. Yeah. And then, of course, you say, why do people do things like that? Peer pressure, mostly. Yeah. And then, of course, you have the really dangerous fads. Like, how many times have you heard these stories about how back in the 20th century, the very idea of trans people was a rarity? And of course, you say, what the hell is trans? Well, it depends who you ask. Technically, it's sort of like being homosexual, but not. But the thing is, the so-called explosion of people who claimed they were trans only occurred in the 21st century with the advent of social media. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Well, guess what? There's a new fad on the horizon, and it's just as detrimental as those two others that I just mentioned. And this fad, it's unbelievable. I mean, people, mostly young white women, are going out and getting tattoos on their face. And you say, well, that's just like nothing new, because we've seen people put tattoos on their faces for years. Yeah, but I'm not talking about those people down south in New Zealand, the Maori people, because I've seen those tattoos, and those weird kind of Polynesian designs on their faces. No, this is nothing like that. And it's definitely not like those clowns down there in damn El Salvador, all those MS-13 clowns with all that crazy big old fat MS-13 on their faces. And I ain't talking about that. No, this is kind of almost as bad. No, these young white females are going out and getting tattoos to make it look like they have, are you ready? Freckles. And you say, well, most of these damn white folks, if they stand out in the sun long, they're probably going to get freckles anyway. True. But some of these females, well, as her mom would say, if she was still around, these people don't, these young white females don't have the sense God gave a goose. Because the pictures, they're on there right now. And then you say, why are they doing it? I have no idea. But the thing is, it's clearly a fad. And according to the big dude, Jeremy from the Quartering, it started in Australia, which is kind of hilarious because anyone who's ever been to Australia, or at least seen enough Australian films, knows that the people down there, they tend to freckle a lot. I mean, don't believe me? Ask Nicole Kidman. Yeah, because she said so long ago. She said that one of the reasons why she got into acting was because that she couldn't hang out at the beach with her friends because her skin is so white as driven snow that as soon as she went outside in the middle of the hot sun, she turned into a damn turned to a beet. Beet as in vegetable. So she had to stay inside all the time. And then you say, why don't she just use sunscreen? But this was, I think, sunscreen wasn't really available back when she was a kid, back in Australia. So there you go. And she said that because she had to be indoors all the time, she had to find something to amuse herself. And she eventually ended up getting involved in stagecraft and started hanging out with the damn kids at the damn drama club. And after that, she eventually decided to become an actress. So there you go. But still, what's going on now is just beyond ridiculous. And I have to admit, big dude, Jeremy, he's right. I mean, because don't these young girls know? And yes, let's not pretend these are young girls. I mean, these girls look like they're barely out of high school. Don't they know that when you put a tattoo like that on your face, it's there forever? Unless, of course, you go out and get laser surgery, and man, that's not pretty. Because I've seen people get laser surgery, get rid of old tattoos. And believe me, it leaves a scar. And you say, yeah, it does. So can you imagine some of these young ass girls deciding, like maybe a month or a year from now, that getting these weird tattooed freckles on their face was a bad idea and they decided to get laser surgery? Well, good grief, girl. You think you look bad now? Wait until that damn guy with the damn carbon dioxide laser gets finished with your face. You're gonna be looking like damn Quasimodo or Brundlefly. And you say Brundlefly? Yeah, anyone who's seen the damn Cronenberg version of The Fly knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. And believe me, don't look up that film. If you're eating green pea soup, you probably won't be able to keep it down. No joke. And then, of course, you wonder where these kids' parents are. And all I can think of is the parents must have checked out, in the responsibility department. Because believe me, if I had a couple of young girls, believe me, and I thought that they were even thinking about doing something crazy like that, man, I would take the damn stupid phone out of their hand and smash it against the wall. I ain't playing. Because it seems like these damn people, these young ass people, these Zoomers, they go on TikTok and they see people doing the most crazy, off the wall nonsense, and then they say, "Ooh, that looks like fun. I want to try to do that too." Because back when I was a kid, my mom told me once, "Oh, if all the cool kids want to jump off the cliff, you want to jump off the cliff too?" I basically thought about that and I said, no, that doesn't sound like a good idea. So then you ask, what the hell is this? I mean, what the hell? In fact, I want to show you one of these damn young ladies because you gotta see it to believe it. This is crazy. This is nuts. I mean, damn. Give me a second. All right. Let me pull up one of these pictures because, like I said, you gotta see it to believe it. It's just too crazy for me. It's just too crazy for me. Are you ready? You ready? Okay. Look at this. You see that? I couldn't believe it either. I mean, that dumb girl's gonna have to walk around for the rest of her life with a paper bag over her head. I mean, she probably has no clue yet how she totally messed up her face. I mean, why didn't she just simply take a frying pan out of the damn kitchen and just hit herself in the face like about a dozen times? It would be a whole lot cheaper than going to the tattoo shop. And I remember back when I was growing up, my parents would occasionally see people doing crazy things like bungee jumping, and they would say, kids these days. Yeah, well, yeah, kids these days. I mean, they clearly don't have any parental supervision. None. None at all. Unbelievable. But who knows? This will probably teach them a lesson. Don't be following crazy fads. Just like all those idiots who are putting those Tide Pods in their mouths. I think the ones who didn't die, who probably got sick as a dog, I think they learned their lesson. And unfortunately, these poor schmucks, they're going to have to learn their lesson the hard way too. Don't be following stupid ass idiots on the stupid internet doing crazy stupid things. It's just ridiculous. Just unbelievably dumb. Well, that's all I'm going to say about this tattoo freckle bullshit. And that's my opinion.